Hi, this is Maxine with Austin Underground, and I'm here today at South by Southwest with Lena Fayre. Thank you for being here. So, you have a really unique sound, which I really enjoy, and I read that you describe it as deconstructed pop. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what that means and like what it means to you?
I guess what it means to me is that pop has certain elements and I like to use those elements but in a different way and not feel like I have to fit into a certain genre, but I can use like a pop aesthetic and a pop sound and kind of use it to my advantage in whatever way I want. So deconstructed pop just means like, I mean, I have a minimalist sound and things like that too, but it just means I can use those different elements. Yeah.
That's cool. What elements of pop do you usually like to utilize?
Kind of just structure, like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, stuff like that. The sound of the instruments, like the sound of the synths that I'm attracted toward, the use of like drum pads and drum triggers and things like that. And the way I use my voice and kind of the emphasis that I put on hooks and things like that.
That's cool. Are there any like current pop artists that you're really into right now that inspire you or anything?
I don't know about current artists, but pop artists from the past, from like the 90s and the early 2000s, I'm more attracted toward. But I love Gwen Stefani and all her solo work a lot.
That's cool. That's cool. Besides Gwen Stefani, who's your other inspirations, music-wise, from any decade? Who would you say?
I want to say Kate Bush, but everyone says Kate Bush. But vocally, I got a lot of my style from Evanescence, the lead singer Amy Lee. I listened to her a lot growing up and that genre of music, so kind of how she uses her voice as an instrument. Like I had never realized that that was a thing, that you can manipulate your voice and train it to do whatever you want. So kind of listening to her from an early age, that really kind of set the tone for how I'd use my voice now.
So it's Oko? Is that your LP from last year, right? What are your favorite tracks on there, and can you tell us why?
My favorite tracks to perform are probably Every Man is a Warrior, Start a War, and Everybody's In. Everybody's In is like a really fun song, and I usually close my sets with it, and it's fun to dance to. I really like to dance, and like a lot of my music is not really appropriate for that, so when I get the chance, it's really fun.
That's cool. That's cool. I really enjoyed Ophelia from Oko. That was cool. I think that's my favorite one. Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank you. Let's see. How do you feel about not taking the traditional track, you know, going to college, all that, and pursuing your dreams? Like, what are some pros and cons of that?
I mean, I get to do what I love to do every day, and that's like a huge pro. Like, I would never complain. I love my job. I love the people who I get to surround myself with. Like, I'm living the dream. But I also really loved school, and I like being in that environment, but you know, you can feel it, like what you're supposed to be doing, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So there's always going to be time for school, and maybe that'll happen, but right now and for the rest of my life, like music is the only thing for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you think being from LA makes a difference in pursuing your dreams than, say, someone that's from somewhere else? Like,
I think so, just because, I mean, I started working in a studio when I was 12. Like, I had a lot of opportunities from a young age, and being in such a highly saturated musical environment, there's a lot of people to collaborate with, and a lot of, like, it's an inspired place to be as a musician and an artist. So I would say so.
that's cool. Let's see. With the current success of young artists like Lorde, Banks, how do you feel with where you're going as far as where you want to be with your career?
I feel good. I mean, I'm just doing me. Like, I'm an unsigned artist, and that means I have a lot of freedom to do what I want and to follow like whatever artistic inspiration I have. So I can just do me, you know.
Where do you usually get your inspirations from?
I'm really inspired by visuals. Like, I'm a very visual person. Even though music is like what I do, I care a lot about, I appreciate how things look. And so I like film and I like art, and a lot of my friends like work or study those fields. So I don't know. I live in a place where there are a lot of young artists, and so to be around that is really cool, and I learn a lot from the people around me.
That's cool. So I read that you've worked with people like Reggie Pace. How does it feel to work with like such amazing artists? And
That was crazy. He's in Bonnie Vaire's band. I don't know if he is anymore, but I saw them in LA in 2011 and then again at Coachella, and I was just like fixated on him the whole time. Like, he had such an amazing stage presence, and then I got the opportunity to work with him, and I was just like so excited the whole time. It was amazing. But they're just people that are like incredibly talented and get to share their gifts with other artists, and it was like one of the greatest moments for me, for sure.
that's so cool. Let's see. Who else really cool have you worked with that you can say you're really like impacted by?
I worked with Lena Fayre a bit last year, and hopefully I get to work with her again. But you know, when you just meet people who you have like an immediate chemistry with and you just like understand each other, she and I had that sort of bond. And so to work with her and kind of get to know her, and she's like from my hometown, and we had like all these things in common. So she was really impactful on my songwriting because she has a really different style than I do. So to kind of bring the two of us together was really, really cool.
That's awesome. And you've been featured in a lot of articles like on Rolling Stone for artists to look out for. How does that make you feel with being so young and kind of breaking in on the scene so early?
It's cool. It's nice, you know. It's nothing but good. It's funny to, you know, to have those things happen online. It's like such a different world that I don't understand, but it's cool. I mean, it's a good thing for sure.
That's cool. How does it feel to have fans? How does that? Do you interact with them? Do you like to, you know, reach out to them?
Yeah, as much as possible. Like, I respond on Facebook, and like I tweet people, and I like Instagram people. It's a lot of the same people, I notice, that like spread across different social platforms, but it's awesome, you know, like to be recognized for what you're doing and for people to actually like it and know that they're listening to it. That's like, it's mind-blowing. I couldn't ask for anything more.
That's cool. Well, you're such a talented young lady. Where do you see yourself in the next year, the next 5 years?
I don't really know. I mean, I just want to keep doing me and being authentic and honest and like following my instincts, and whatever happens, happens. But yeah.
Is South by your first big festival?
Yeah, I've never been here, never been to Texas, so a little overwhelming, but it's good.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed Texas. Maybe get some barbecue while you're here. Some good food, because that's what's good about Texas. Yeah. What have you eaten so far?
We had fried avocado last night. That was really good. And oh, well, it was really good. And I don't know, just a couple other things. A lot of street food.
Yeah, the street food in Austin is the best anywhere. So yeah, definitely make sure you utilize the food trucks. Yeah, that's awesome.